it would have been great if we had him on an hour later yesterday. But Dan Orlovsky was talking about how Harbaugh's an elite coach. They need to change certain things, but he didn't necessarily think that getting rid of him was going to be the decision. Like, that's just how a lot of people felt. But Zach, I think today on ESPN, he had a very strong tune. You have that clip?
Yep. 1 second. Yeah, we have it.
So why don't we play that clip? You know, Dan was very, very opinionated on that, and let's play that, and we'll react on the other side.
Right now, there's no way you can say it's the right move.
Yeah, we'll find out if it's the right move.
Correct.
Right? But
right now, there's no way, because there's no one that at least we have an idea being available sniffs Harbaugh's resume.
I would agree. Yeah.
So you're going to take a step back when it comes to that. Now, will that person grow and develop and become? Right. The Patriot example, Vrabel had, established himself as an elite coach. Ben Johnson was this brilliant brainiac offensive mind. Yeah. And I think Hawk's point of, well, can we take advantage of Lamar? I mean, how much more can we take advantage of him?
We got to get it back on track, right?
Right, yeah, but a part of that is a health.
Right.
We're saying we want to find someone to take that one final step more than once. Mm-hmm. Harbaugh's won one. So we're trying to, can you take that one final step more than once, which is the hardest? I just think it's a very slippery slope and a very dangerous world to live in, thinking, we'll just get rid of him and all of a sudden we're going to be okay,
To talk about that real quickly, with Dan, what he's trying to say, and people were going to say, well, no, they had to make the move. They didn't have to, but what Dan's saying next year, and we talked with Josh earlier, talked with Tony Dungy, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to win the Super Bowl next year. Because if it's that simple, things would have been done a long time ago. And we've already gone over the list. A first-year head coach coming in, which I think both of us, Zach, believe it's going to be a first-year head coach, first time being a head coach. Mm-hmm. To Dan's point, are you unlocking Lamar more? I don't know if you can unlock Lamar more. He's a two-time MVP. He's one of the best players in the league. Could you manage in-game more? That's probably the biggest thing, because a lot of the leads that the Ravens have had, double-digit losses. And on top of it, there has been questionable moments. I think that's the part where, is that the difference? Because if that's the difference, then sure. But I guess we're going to find out.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing. Yes, I think we all agree that the resume, no one out there has a resume comparable to John, unless you want to go Mike McCarthy, but I don't see the Ravens going Mike McCarthy. It comes down to the fact of not, do you think there is a better coach right now than John Harbaugh? It's just simply that you needed a new voice. You needed a different message. You needed something to spice it up. How many times, we'll bring up the Philly thing. Just because there's good coaches doesn't mean that there aren't times that you just got to move on. It doesn't mean that he's a bad coach. He's a great coach. He's a very good coach. He's won a Super Bowl. Not many can say that. So he's been to the top. It's just at some points it's time. I see Josh talking about it in the comments about you got to take the risk. This is not a safe move. This is not the safe move. Was keeping Harbaugh. That was the safe move. This is taking the risk and saying we think that this team can elevate a little bit more with a different message, with a different mindset. It's trying to invigorate something into this team, rejuvenate them in some way. So I think that's the biggest thing is, no one on the market, especially these OCs and, defensive coordinators, no one has the resume of Harbaugh. It's just not going to happen. But what you're hoping is that the message, even though it won't be the same, maybe it's similar, something changes, the messenger changes, and now suddenly maybe you get over that hump. Maybe it's a mental thing. Maybe it's not. This could blow up in their face. This could be a resounding success. We don't know. And the only thing that's going to tell us is time.
Time gives us the best answers. The other thing to close out with that, Zach, for the Ravens overall, I mean, look, I think pressure is going to be off more now when this new coach comes in, because even though I'm saying the expectation still is going to be that they need to win and to go to the Super Bowl. Like, I'm not going to say it isn't, but if Harbaugh had stayed, we're playing this hypothetical now. If Harbaugh had stayed, do you know how much pressure would have been on for the Ravens to get off to a fast start? And that would be magnified, because what if the Ravens get off to a slow start next year, and then you're talking about during the season, you're trying to talk about changing things up. I think with this clean slate, bring a guy in, understand there's going to be growing pains, but even with the growing pains, you still expect that you can get to that next level, but it's not going to be out of the gate, right? Like, they're not going to expect week one that Baltimore is going to come out here humming like in Buffalo, and then you lose the game, and then you lose to the Lions, and you lose to the Chiefs.
I disagree sort of in the fact that I think there's pressure of, if they start 1-4 next year, 2-5, of there's going to be, maybe not from the fan base of saying, because they all, want something different. But I think the national talking point is going to be, especially let's say John Harbaugh goes to the Giants and they start off 4-2 and the Ravens are 2-4. You don't think the headlines aren't going to be, the heck did the Ravens do? How could you pass up John? How could you give up on John Harbaugh? Like, there's going to be pressure on everyone now. So the new guy comes in. I think it's less pressure than Harbaugh, because Harbaugh, you pretty much had to go like 15-2, win a Super Bowl for people to not want you gone if you came back. But for this new guy, you missed the playoffs. You don't have a great year. It's not going to be this long leash. This isn't a rebuilding team, and I think that's the mindset a guy's got to come in with. This is not a rebuild. This is not we're going to build a culture for 2 years, then go for it. This is we are in a win now, plug and play. Get here, go to work, and try to win a Super Bowl. So it's going to be very intriguing to see how it all plays out, because there is pressure on this new guy. It's not a rebuild. It's not going to be, hey, we're losing, but the attitude is different. But there's a different feeling in the building. All the stuff you see when a new guy gets to a rebuilding team, it's going to be a lot of focus on the wins and losses. And that's going to matter. And I can tell you this: Ravens blow a lead week one. No,
it's a good point, Zach. It's a great point. I still think if we were to say new head coach comes in and goes 0-2 compared to Harbaugh starting the year 0-2 with the Ravens, everyone's going to look at, why'd you bring that guy back? But you know what's going to dictate this thing, and you just mentioned it. It's if the Ravens do get off to the slow start, and wherever Harbaugh goes, they become a top team, or they are contending early, then that's where it's going to be, right? And there's a very good chance of that. The schedule, even though the Ravens finished second, can argue they got a tougher slate. They're going to Buffalo now. It's been a tough place for them to win. They've actually played better in New England.
Different
stadium.
Maybe that.
Hey, making that trip. Hey, I ain't missing a trip to Buffalo this time. I cannot wait to go for that. But this is the fascinating storyline. We don't know the correct answer, but it felt like, I think we can both agree, Zach, even though it feels weird, in this case, it seems like the right moment to do this. It's the right time.
1,000%.
There's caution everywhere. There's anxiety everywhere. But right now, it's going to be a new era with new era 8 and Lamar Jackson. How can this Ravens team take that next step? Time will tell. But whoever it's going to be, the Ravens are ready to still win right now. So if you are new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Ryan Ripken Show, do it live right here on YouTube, X, and Facebook.